Welcome back to Perfect Shine of Jacks. Today we're working on a 2022 Corvette Stingray. And in this part of it here, I'm steaming up all the tires and the wheels. Everything looked pretty good when I got into it. But after I had it steamed and nice and clean, I noticed the inside of the barrels had a lot of rubber and road tar on them. So I did end up taking these wheels off to get that rubber and road tar out here. You can see in just a second in the upper left-hand corner, you see little black specks that are on the inside of the barrels there. There was quite a bit on all the tires, so we got them off and got them looking absolutely beautiful. And we continued steaming, and we steamed, cleaned the rest of the exterior. The car was really pretty clean, so using the steamer and the 275 degrees of dry steam helped lift off any of that road film and things like that off of the car so that we could see what we were working with and start with the paint correction and getting the water spots off and everything else that was required to start the process of getting the car back to better than new and to be able to ceramic coat it. I like the Optima steamer here. It does fantastic on interiors and things like that. Totally sanitizes everything and gets it just really, for lack of a better description, surgically clean. Here on the windows, you can see we've got some water spots and light etchings and that type of thing, which is pretty typical. I see this really on all vehicles. So you can see it here in the glass, the water etchings. So because we're going to ceramic coat these, we go ahead and start to polish the window. You can still see here on the front, we've got some there as well. So kind of standard operating procedure. We're going to machine polish all the glass. And here you can see we're machine polishing it, getting all the water etchings and everything off of it, making it back to new again. So once we go ahead and ceramic coat it, all the water is going to come off there just effortless. And when he's driving, he definitely will not need the use of his wipers. So I'm going to spend a little time here polishing this back glass. It seems to be a little worse even than the front. Getting tight in all the edges and everything. We want to do all we can to make this glass absolutely perfect, as we do on all jobs. Yes, this is a C8 Corvette, and we're taking a lot of time and attention, but we really do that with every vehicle here. And in just a second, I'm going to stop here, wipe it all off, and then I'll show you the left side here, which I've polished, and then we'll show over to the other side, which I haven't, and you'll see the difference. Every window on this car, and really most of the ones that come in here, end up getting machine polished back to new. All right, let me bring in and show you what I'm working with. We're going to clean it up a little bit first. All right, got it looking good. Let's bring in, and you can see the left side here is optically very, very clear. And yes, I will end up cleaning it one more time before we coat it. And then as you look over on the other side there, you'll still see the water spots and everything. All right, so as I start to work on, there we go. Nice and clean and still spotted up. So we'll get the rest of it done, make it look beautiful, look perfect, better than new. As we're looking here at the driver's door, if you look closely, you can see a little spider webbing, little swirls and stuff in there. Car doesn't have many miles on it, so there's not a whole lot of paint correction, but you can see here in the video that we do have some light swirling going on, and we want to make that absolutely perfect before applying the ceramic coating. So we're going to get in and start our first step of paint correction, remove all that, and get it back to new condition before we apply the ceramic coating. We are going to use Fireball's Butterfly with Graphene ceramic coating. This ceramic coating we're going to apply has over 90% solid ceramic in the bottle. Very little solvent in there. One of the highest levels of any ceramic out on the market. And the other thing I'll point out is that Fireball does publish how much ceramic is in the bottle. This isn't like your Amazon ceramic coatings that the companies that are selling them don't actually make them, and they don't tell you how much ceramic's in the bottle. So, you know, you get what you get. This coating is warranted to last of a duration up to 9 years. So, long term. And the other thing, the optical clarity of the coating when we apply it is just second to none. It is going to really make this paint deep and glossy and look absolutely outstanding. So we're going to work the paint here a little bit more. I've done a couple test spots around the car, and the clear coat on this is pretty hard. So it does require a little bit of effort to get those scratches and swirls out of there. It's not a quick 2 or 3 passes and you're done. It takes a little bit of time. So I'm going to work it, get all the edges, work everything. This whole car is going to be polished out. Every aspect of it I'm going to end up touching several times between the wash or the steaming of it, claying it, doing everything we can to return the paint back to new condition. For those of you that think this is just a quick job, I think I had about 12 hours on this vehicle by the time it was all said and done. So it takes a bit of time, and preparation is absolutely everything. Without proper prep, the rest of it just doesn't mean anything. So whether you've got a classic car, a hot rod, a sports car, or just a Toyota Camry that you want to get back to brand new and polished out and looking good, it's all the same procedure. It doesn't matter. I really spend the same time on every vehicle to get it back to fairly new condition and looking good. So I'll bring you in close here and we'll get looking at it. I can still see just a few defects left in there, so I'm going to end up making a few more passes with this before I'm totally finished. It's pretty close, but it's not exactly where I want it. I can still see a few more hairline swirls and scratches in there. And then after a couple more polishes, here we are to the finished product. Now we're looking good, and I think we've got all the defects removed out of it. Looking beautiful. All right, one of the other things I'm doing here is I'm polishing out the sides of the headlights, that black piano finish. And you might think that's a little bit extreme, but when all the swirls are out of the paint and then the light hits this side plastic, which is black, you'd see all the swirls that are in it. And yeah, I may not necessarily do that to every vehicle. Just kind of depends what the customer's after, but we're really trying to make this one a show car and make it absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to polish on this just a second and bring in and show you what it is we're working with. And this plastic's kind of soft, so you know, if you're running through the car wash, you're washing it aggressively, you're going to put swirls in it. So let me get it wiped down here. I'll bring you in close and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. All right, so no swirls in the paint, and you can see here, nice and clean, looking good there too. Okay, we're applying the butterfly with graphene, and one of the things I want to point out is when I apply it to the paint, look how deep and rich the paint becomes once the coating is applied to it. We're going to put a little bit here on our applicator, get it primed up. For those of you that don't know how ceramic coatings are applied, this is it right here. And watch as I move it down the hood, you're going to see a definite change in color, riching it up quite a bit. All right, as I pull this down, it looks basically like the paint is wet, like I'm going up and down with a wet applicator, and that's the color the vehicle will stay. Really richens up whatever color you're applying it to, some a little more than others, but you can see there how much richer that paint becomes. Deep blue, and the whole vehicle is going to be that way, covered with a 9-year ceramic coating. This Graphene by Fireball is really my favorite. I've been through probably 10, well, not 10, probably been through about 6 bottles of it, and I absolutely love it. Great to apply and is just absolutely incredible on the paint. So we'll move around the rest of the car, getting everything done in that. When that's finished, we'll come up to the windows. We've already machine polished them, and we're going to apply Fireball's Typhoon. This is their window coating, and by applying it to the window, really, you're not going to need your wipers in the rain. It's just going to blast right off of there. And if you don't believe me, I've got quite a few videos on YouTube and Facebook that show driving in a hard rain without the need of wipers. Makes it visibility so much better, especially at nighttime with oncoming cars. You don't have the glare of their headlights. It really knocks that down quite a bit. So we're going to apply it. And with all these coatings, the Fireball's Typhoon, this will sit on the window about 10 minutes before I wipe it off, totally bonding to the paint, or excuse me, to the glass, so that it, generally speaking, will give you about a year of durability, depending on your use of the wipers and that type of thing. But it's absolutely phenomenal. On the side glass and the back glass, definitely lasts longer. Here we're going to apply Fireball's Talon to the wheels. A Talon can take, I think, up to about 1,400 degrees of temperature. So this is the coating that we use on the wheels and the brake calipers and things like that. For that extreme heat, so that the brake dust and everything will just rinse right off of there, not bond to it like it would if we didn't have any ceramic coating on it. And it will richen up that silver a little bit too. So we're going to get it dialed in, and here is our finished product. Wow, this car came out absolutely stunning. The reflection, the reflectivity that the ceramic coating brings to the table is just second to none. Really outstanding. Not a flaw in the paint. Looking just really just amazing. And here we are. The customers arrived. We're backing it out into the driveway. Perfection at its finest. Really outstanding. Quite happy with it. There's the final product. If you've got a car that you want polished out, whether it's a classic or a daily driver, perfectshineofjacks.com in Yulee, Fernandina, Amelia Island, 904-575-0258, or on the web, perfectshineofjacks.com. Love to help you out.